breaking down the deals, data, and disruption shaping global markets. You're listening to The Daily Ledger with Dennis Sert.
Hey folks, today is Thursday, December 25th, 2025. It is Christmas Day. Merry Christmas. You're listening to the Daily Ledger Show, and I'm your host, Dennis Sert. Great to be here with you today on this Christmas Day. I think we're going to have a very short and sweet show today. Got a few things on the docket. We're going to talk about Nvidia. We're going to talk about Waymo explaining why their robotaxis got stuck during the San Francisco blackout. And we're going to talk about a couple other odds and ends regarding Waymo. Before we get into that, let's kind of go over some of the macroeconomic trends here. So let me get the screen up and going here. So the Dow isn't open right now, but I'm still just gonna kind of cover how it ended. So as of December 24th at 2:54 p.m., the Dow Jones was up 0.6%. NASDAQ was up 0.22%. S&P 500 was up 0.32%. These are all records, by the way. So nice job. And then in the last 24 hours, Bitcoin was to 87,593, and I think Bitcoin should still be active even today. Okay. Before we get into what we got today, make sure you download Byte AI Market Analysis on the iOS App Store. It's basically a stock market trading co-pilot. It tells you when you should enter and exit the market based off of key analysis like technical indicators like the MACD signal curve, RSI curve, as well as the Bollinger Bands, as well as news sentiment. And it gives you a succinct, essentially, recommendation on what you should do. Of course, it's not actually a stock advisor, financial advisor, and neither am I. And past success does not indicate future results. Okay. So that being said, go to byteai.me and let's get started. Nvidia licenses Groq's AI technology for cutting-edge chips grows. Startup CEO, some staff to join Nvidia as part of new non-exclusive deal by the Wall Street Journal. Yeah, so I guess Nvidia acquired Groq, which is this like kind of this hub for running just various machine learning models or like AI models, just kind of all across the board. So I guess they pick them up. They pick them up. Nice job. Not too much beyond that, to be honest, with this one. It's a light news day just because it's Christmas Day. Most people don't even live stream today, but I was like, whatever. All right. Waymo explains why its robotaxis got stuck during the SF blackout. So apparently, so we had already talked about the SF blackout, and then I kind of like based off of that into like PG&E. I kind of went on a pretty wild rant a few days ago. It was actually a day before my birthday. I clipped farmed so much from that. I got 11 clips out of that. I've never clipped that many. And then the next day I clipped 2, and it was like, okay, wow, 11 to 2. But yeah, anyways, so apparently during that blackout, as we know, Waymo, like the Waymo fleet essentially went to a standstill, and now they explain why. So apparently it had to do with like the stoplights. So they said Waymo said the self-driving system and its robotaxis treat dead stoplights as four-way stops, just like humans are supposed to. Great. That should have allowed the robotaxis to operate normally in spite of the massive outage. But instead, many of the vehicles requested a confirmation check from the fleet response team to make sure what they were doing was correct. And apparently, every single or a majority of the Waymos eventually hit a stoplight and then all did a confirmation check kind of erroneously. They really shouldn't have done a confirmation check. Like they shouldn't they should have been more reluctant to do the confirmation check, right? They should have just treated it as a normal four-way stop and gone ahead without having to call it in, right? But they kind of erred toward calling it in. It seems like that system is a bit too sensitive. So apparently that's why it happened. I don't buy it. Anytime, like as we know, I won't rehash the same thing over today. But it's like, if you weren't able to get it done, you should be fired. So that's so I think that's what should happen. So I don't accept this, right? I don't accept it. So someone needs to be fired there in the Waymo team. Probably just the whole team in charge of sort of all coding it that runs the car that makes it choose between calling it in for the confirmation check or not. Whoever coded that, the whole team should just be fired. So I think that's kind of my view on that. Waymo is testing Gemini as an in-car AI assistant in its robotaxis. So while the title itself isn't like anything crazy, I think what piqued my interest here was somebody actually found the system prompt for the unreleased Gemini integration. It looks like this. And what was funny here is like I'm reading it, and whoever wrote this, I can kind of tell, maybe not a boomer, but probably some sort of millennial or a Gen Xer. But like, oh man, like possible even that an AI wrote the prompt. So you look here in the, I guess, the persona purpose, right? Your primary goal is to enhance the rider's experience by providing useful information and assistance in a safe, reassuring, Oxford, and unobtrusive manner, period. Like, there's so much effort put into the system prompt that only an AI or some sort of like non-Gen Zer could have written this. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I just hate all forms of effort. It just completely turns me off. And it actually disgusts me. So yeah, so that's kind of dumb. I think we're gonna leave it there today. Just a little short and sweet, cute little segment. Very cute, in fact. And so make sure to download Byte AI off the iOS App Store or by going to byteai.me, which is in the top right corner. Use podcast 20 if you're doing Stripe checkout on the web app, where you get a 20% discount off your first month. And yeah, I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.